What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of All Things Super. I am one of your hosts, Spider, and I am joined by Mr. VIP, Frankie Washington. How are you doing today, sir?
Hey, it is me. It's me, Mr. VIP, Frankie Washington, and I am infinitely awesome. Thank you for asking. How are you, sir? You seen that lean when I said it? Like it was heavy for me to get off my chest?
Yeah, to get it off. Got to get it out there. But no, I'm doing great. I'm doing absolutely wonderful.
That's amazing. Let's not downplay that.
Look,
Hell yeah.
It is what it is.
Any day that I can wake up on the right side of the earth is a good day. Because I saw Beetlejuice with Michael Keaton. It's crazy down there. You know.
I was no. I was just thinking because you said Beetlejuice. I was like, God, Michael Keaton has had a hell of a career,
hasn't he? He is Batman,
but I feel like he's still,
and he's also Vulture, and he's also Birdman.
He's still like,
and I like the men 21 Jump Street with quoting all them songs.
When you list like, you go through the list of like the greatest actors of all time, right?
Hello.
Does anybody ever say Michael Keaton? Is he high up on anybody's list?
God damn it, he's high on my list.
I'm saying rightfully he should be.
When he took his hiatus, I was very disappointed because he is a phenomenal actor.
He's great. The man is absolutely amazing.
Brought the role of Vulture to life. You would have not ever. You know, people talk about time and everything he brought to the role, but I think it took someone like Michael Keaton to be able to accent and not oversteal the show from time, because it could have clearly easily been a Vulture movie.
Oh, absolutely.
This man looked directly at him and said, Spider-Man, I'll kill you.
I'll kill you and everyone you care about.
No mask.
Straight
I'm straight with a gun in his hand. I'll kill you. And everybody you care about. And drop my daughter off and go to work. And
have a good time at the dance, Pedro.
Yeah, phenomenal acting, man. And if he's not on somebody's list of phenomenal actors, I advise you to reevaluate your list. Because he has... His catalog is large.
Multiplicity, Mr. Mom, Jack Frost.
Oh, right there. Just they still referencing multiplicity.
Yeah.
I think Rick and Morty did a homage to it.
Just crazy. Just
okay.
But you know, this is not what we're here for. But shout out to Michael Keaton. You deserve all the respect, all the accolades because you are a very talented actor. But if you don't know what this is All Things Super, where every week we take a piece of superpowered TV, movies, trailers, we watch them, we react to them, we break them down, we review them, and we answer the question: is it super?
It's over.
Is it super? Well, we're going to find out. But if you like that, you can subscribe to the channel. You can find us on all of your major podcast streaming services. If you want the audio version, just search for All Things Super wherever you find your audio podcasts. And if you want to join in on the conversation, you can tweet at us at ATSuperPod.
And we like reading comments.
We like reading the comments.
If you look for us, you can find us. That's normally how that works.
Right. If you search, you will find us.
We're not hard to find. Put ATS in, and if we don't come up, then you spelled it wrong. Just letting you know.
This
double
episode,
check your spelling.
We're not talking about Michael Keaton, but this episode, we're talking about episode 9, the penultimate episode of Game of Thrones House of the Dragon.
Here we go. Right? Dragons. Thrones. Just listen.
Woo! Catch your breath before you even get it out.
I just want to take this opportunity to say rest in power to the king.
Hold on, man. Hold on.
Oh, hey.
Well, it's not a spoiler because we talked about it in the last episode. So he did technically die in the last episode.
Well, that's what I was saying.
Okay. You got it. You got it. I'm just making sure that we don't jump into anything.
Before I ruin your Game of Thrones experience, because clearly if you're watching us and haven't watched the show yet, thank you. You clearly like us more than the show. But I think the world is watching Thrones at this point in time. And if you're not, it's interesting that you're here because you clicked on this thumbnail. So you already know what we're going to talk about. So let me put the warning out there. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That is your spoiler warning. If you have not watched Game of Thrones, House of the Dragons on HBO Max or HBO, whatever else they're naming it. I went somewhere and I seen like they got like 19 versions of HBO. There's like HBO Signature, HBO Max, HBO Expansion, HBO.
There used to be. It used to be like HBO Kids, HBO. I think
HBO they're still in HBO Kids.
Is all of that included in HBO Max?
If it's not, they should make it seem like it is. So I don't know. But if you haven't watched it, thank you for hanging out with us. We're going to spoil it. So if you don't want your episode, what episode is this?
Episode 9.
That's what I was going to say if I said it. If you don't want to spoil, go watch that and come back here. But we're about to get into this thing because the king, the peaceful king. The peaceful king.
Viserys the peaceful.
Viserys the peaceful.
He wanted to know
said
what he was
in the last
for.
episode that no more.
I want peace.
He was done.
I want peace.
The writers have to let him go. God damn. The man has struggling. No eyeball. So he can't see. But he was doing it pretty wild. He was doing it back then. I'm just saying, is she fine? She should be mine. Just let me hit it one more time. And I got it sold up. But the king, we started out with it. I mean, the prelude says the king is dead. And he's dead. Right?
Right.
So now we're seeing the aftermath. We knew this was going to hit the fan when he died. And now he has. We wake up the queen and let her know. Don't you think it's odd that they don't sleep in the same bedroom?
No, I don't.
Man, what's going on in your? Wait,
no,
what is your views of marriage?
I don't.
It's like a normal thing for you.
I don't think it's odd for them in the universe of Game of Thrones for them to sleep in the same bedroom because because at this entire show, as far as we've seen, no one has married for love. Nobody got married because they love the person that they're with. So I don't expect
duty and responsibility and loyalty to the realm and the uniting houses for power is the reason why we get married in this universe.
And that's it. And it's like, I don't even know for the most part if these people actually like each other. So I think that they would try, they're not in the same room as much as possible.
You just want that space, huh?
Right. And it's just, they share a bed, have sex. And then after that, it's just like, all right, I'll see you when I see you.
Well, unfortunately, they put us in the bedroom when the king and the queen was having it, and she looked like she wasn't having it. So
she was not enjoying herself at all.
Yeah, she has a lot on her mind, and even more so on her body. The king is dead,
and then she was still a teenager at that point too.
Well, that's gross. This is Thrones.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, we push the envelope off the cliff and watch it flutter to the dirt.
to the deepest depths of the canyon.
This is Thrones, baby. So there's a lot going on because we talked about this before that this was going to hit the fan once the king died. Now he's dead. And immediately we go into this spiel about Allison talking this nonsense about he wanted Aegon to be king. Now, we talked about this in our last episode. This is a very loose loose plot. And I understand you needed something because we had basically made peace, even though the kids had all this hate poured into them that it was going to be hard for them to let that go. Mm-hmm. We now have to go back with this again because somebody has to push the narrative on making Aegon king. So here's Alicent with these conversations of grand delusion that King Viserys was talking about her Aegon about being king and ruling the Seven Kingdoms.
Uniting the realm.
So uniting the realm. So she's telling her father this, Otto Hightower, which, you know, you give Otto an inch, she's about to run a marathon with it. Yes. That's all I needed to hear. and everything in his speech, he said it. I thought that he was going to switch it up. I thought he was going to switch it up, switch it. I'm not glitching. I'm just repeating that he was going to switch it up and say, you know, something different. But he says the king has whispered to the queen that Aegon should be king. And that's just what we go do. Now, here's what I love.
Because I think he had to. Because he couldn't proclaim that as if it was his words.
Here's what I love. There was some opposition. There was some ops. There was like, the only person that heard it was her. Mm-hmm. About this, you know what I'm saying? I know you the hand of the king. The only person that heard it was her in the middle of the night, his last words. Listen, we not about to do all that. But Otto was like, oh, we about to do all that. And guess what? Ain't nobody leaving the small council until we do all that. Alicent is overwhelmed. Like, y'all been like? Again, Alicent, I'm gonna need you to stop playing. You knew they was plotting this since you was a child.
You just didn't want to see it.
You just didn't want this to come to pass. Because Otto, like the mob boss that he is, hand of the king, hand of God, said, blood about to be spilled because if Rhaenyra is alive, her supporters will get behind her and they gonna rise up. There will be blood in the water. She is already betrothed to be, not betrothed, but she is in line to be the queen. Mm-hmm. She's gonna be in charge. And here's the thing. You're not sitting on a ceremony of peace because they had already made up. We was good. You know, you might have not been the hand of the king no more. But, you know, take your gold and retire. You know, go fishing. There's so many things you can do in King's Landing. They got chicken farming and quilt making. You could have been, you know, a juggler. You could have invented indoor plumbing. There's so many things that you could have did instead of being the hand of the kid. There's places you could go, you know what I'm saying? Solar panels, you know, there's so many opportunities that you could have came up. But you want to hold on to your position as hand of the king because they should have showed Otto what he was doing on that downtime. That I would like to know when he got fired. Was he at the brothel, strip club? Was he, you know? Do you think when they made it rain back then, it was painful?
Hell yeah, because all they had was coin.
Them coins. Just like, oh my God, stop.
It's pitching nickels. But
make it bleed. Make it bleed on these hoes.
Speaking of bleeding, shout out to Beesbury, man. He went out. He died for what he believed in. He was loyal to King Viserys, and he said that, you know, this is, like you said, this is one person's word, and you expect us to just jump in line and go along with this? There's nobody else to corroborate this. How do we know that how do we know that she was the only one in there when he took his last breath, right? You know, he's basically saying this is suspect. When we left him, because the last time they saw him, he walked his ass down in the Great Hall to the throne. Said the king looked stronger than he's ever looked before. That was the
Yeah, I
last
don't know
time that
about
they.
that part.
Well,
To
but I
them.
mean, yeah, to them. That's what I'm saying. To them, they haven't seen the king, and because we had this 6-year time jump, so who knows
Right.
when the last time they actually saw the king? Because his health had been failing him. They kept him high on milk of the poppy, and
That's
so
what this in
for.
here.
Look, I don't want you to start spitting prophecies as we get through the episode. But so the last
My
time
guy.
the last time the council probably saw him, he probably didn't look well at all. So to see him walk under his own power for the most part through the hall to sit on the Iron Throne, Beesbury is like the last time I saw the king, he was walking. He was commanding a room.
Letting them
So
have bars.
right. And so this was all in that same night. So he says, who's to say that because, he made this proclamation that, Luke is going to be the heir to the Driftmark throne. And because of that, who knows, like we had this whole fight in the hall. So there might have been somebody who slipped into his bed chambers at night, killed the king. So how do we know that that's not what happened?
We don't know.
He's like, at least let's take a second to try to figure out what's happening. And of all people, Kristen.
This bit. You lost points, dude. You gonna come strong on a senior citizen?
He's
really,
like,
my guy?
sit down. Just smash his head.
And look at the foreshadowing, because they showed this little marble on the table and they showed like they putting it in place, and I guess it's a placeholder. I mean, I don't have the full backstory of it, but it's a cool little thing. You put your little marble in the table. I guess it represents your marker that you're there.
Like your attendance or whatever.
Okay, but they smashed this man's temple on this marble. He done went marbles. Marble on the mine. That good stone.
But so,
took him out.
What I appreciate, the commander, Sir Westerling, he immediately pulls a sword out. I was like, boy, what's wrong with you?
Let's go.
But Kristen, fucking delusional.
All of a sudden, he got hot now. He got hot now.
Because he ain't getting none no more. That's what it is. He got all that pent up frustration in his body.
You should have been that whore. You should have been a whore.
He got it one time. Then now he don't know how to act. One
time is fine with me. Hey, man.
Rhaenyra got this good, apparently.
He done showed his true colors, and I can't wait to somebody. I think it's gonna be Damon. Spoiler warning if I happen to be right, but I think Damon goes. They gotta have a rematch. I don't read the books.
They gotta have a rematch because we know when Sir Kristen was first introduced, he fought Damon and he got the best of Damon, and that's back when Damon was asshole. We were like, yeah, Sir Kristen whooped that ass. Let's go, Sir Kristen. Now it's like, fuck, Damon should have put him in this place a long time ago. We wouldn't have had all these problems.
Then cut this dude throat loose. Just have his throat out there. Just, oh my goodness, it's crazy. This dude just getting away with murdering people. He murdered somebody in the movie. He murdered Joffrey. No accountability.
None.
Nothing happened to him. He got promoted.
He murdered Joffrey, got a promotion. Now he murdered Beesbury. He about to get another promotion because the commander then retired. He like, no, I'm not about to be a part of this. Y'all want me to go to Dragonstone and kill Rhaenyra? You want me to go kill a princess? No. He ripped off his clothes. He's like, fuck y'all. I'm not doing this.
Yeah, and clearly, Sir Kristen is a police officer because he murdered, even getting promoted.
A cap. So now, and so Otto is like, Sir Kristen is going to be the commander of the King's Watch now, or the King's Guard. So it's like, fuck, that's what you got to do to get promoted in fucking Westeros. You just got to kill people. But I mean, you think about it. Kristen killed Joffrey, got promoted to be the Queen's Guard. He killed Beesbury. Now he's being commander of the commander of the King's Guard. Fucking Larys hired a whole hit squad, kill his dad and his brother. Now he's the Lord of Harrenhal. So I mean, it really seems like
inheritance.
Well, by inheritance,
it couldn't fall on anybody else but him.
True, but it still seems like if you want to get a leg up in the world, all you got to do is kill somebody.
Exactly. That's why Otto Hightower is going to kill Rhaenyra and all her offspring, bastards they be, because he don't want anybody challenging this legacy of the throne. Here's what's interesting to me. Mm-hmm. Otto is in a position of power already. I don't think, per his position, he can't go any higher. He in a glass ceiling. No,
he
can't get on the throne. Yeah. Even though he sat on it with all that padding on, because he was like, "I'm not playing that shit."
all of this, and even when he sit on the throne. He sit on the throne like this. He's like, "I ain't put my arms on it. I ain't leaning on the back of it. I'm like at the edge of the seat."
I seen what this shit do, and I respect him for it. I wouldn't want it to eat either, but
that is not a lazy boy. I'm not about to recline in that one.
So why does he go so hard for his bloodline? I mean, you still have the queen. You sent your daughter, you pimped your daughter out, and we can get into how Alicent comes to terms with this later on. But she comes to the realization of what he actually did. So he pimped his daughter out. She had kids. Those kids are now royal bloodline. Take nothing away from it. That's what they are. They're royal bloodline. Whether they be kings or they could be knights, they can be princes, they can be all of those things.
Right.
That's not enough for him. He wants his grandson on the throne.
Right.
His grandson doesn't want to be on the throne.
He is actively running away from his responsibilities.
Dude, make Thor look like he was at home. You know what I'm saying? This just don't make no sense to try to force this on this young man. Jon Snow, he doesn't want it. He does not want it, and y'all gonna make it. Okay, so I'm hopping. So let me backtrack a little bit. Just backtrack a little bit. They take my man's out. He got marble on the brain, and then it's a Christian standing there like you out there, like you about to do something. Like, I wanted to see them go.
I wanted to see them fight. Wrestling would have wiped the floor with his ass. Like,
I was ready. You're gonna
find out why I am the commander right now.
I was double Dutch. I was like, yes, go, let's do it, let's go. But he came down, brought his good as wiser older men do. They come to their conclusion. You know what?
It wasn't even that. It wasn't even that, because you know why they stopped? Because Alicent told Kristen to stand down. Because Kristen was like, I won't, let anybody insult the queen, and Alicent's like, nobody insulted me.
This dude hearing voices. Like, nobody even said that. He was
he on his Randy Orton shit.
This dude is wilding. I think he on the milk of the poppy. Like, he's snorting it. He's snorting that poppy.
He on steroids or something. Dude is
on that K West. I don't know what's going on with this dude. Like, all that armor is too heavy, dude. You need to take that off. Get you a nice summer outfit and wear that. You getting hot. You overheated.
Get your linen suit or something.
Just wear the chain, because God, you inside. Now, when you going out the battle, you put all that on, but just wear like a little jumper, because clearly you overheated. You just hearing things. Nobody even said nothing about the queen. Murder the old man. Murder the senior citizen.
Yeah.
And nobody did nothing. The only person that stood up was, him.
Lannister. Sir Lannister got up. He got out the way. He's like, I'm not about to be a part of this shit. So he got up and he moved. But then he just came right back and started just right back into it. Like, just talking about the fucking plans.
Because Otto was like, nobody going nowhere. Oh, he just, because it was like, remove him.
Like, we need to remove his body. He's like, no, the chambers are staying closed until we are done with our council business.
It worked out.
It's like, now, it was bleeding on the table.
I eat here. This shit all over the table. Y'all know there ain't no bleach back then. You ain't about to just bleach that down. That stain is there. Now, here's the thing. Alicent is a voice of reason. which is surprising me because she's been spitting this whole Aegon gotta be king thing for a hot minute.
Right.
But she's the voice of reason, and Otto's like, you just don't want to see your childhood friend die. And I don't think there's something wrong with that. I think there's something wrong with you. Your immediate thing is to go to straight murder.
Right. Because he's like, she literally said Viserys would not have wanted his daughter murdered. And it's like, the way you try to turn that on her, it's like, if the roles were reversed, would you want, and like you died, would you want somebody to be like, all right, well, we got to take Alicent out, take out the queen? It's like, is that what you would have wanted? It's like, you just don't want your friend to die. It's like, well, no, that too, but still, like, she's like, this was my husband.
Why is this the first option? Like, we didn't even talk to her. Send a crow.
Right. Send a crow. Send a raven. Ask us something.
Test it out. See how she's feeling. You know, is there a little aggression in her throat? Maybe she's sad because her dad died.
But then the thing you think about it, Rhaenyra doesn't even know that he's dead yet.
Because one thing that they did try to do was keep it on a hush.
They locked Rhaenys' ass down. They just click, you ain't leaving your room. And it's
Rhaenys is smart.
It's so coincidental because had they not had the fight at dinner, Rhaenyra and all the kids would have still been there. Because after the fight, Rhaenyra was like, well, let me take the kids home. I'll come back on Dragonback. But because they didn't come on Dragon, it takes them a little bit more time to leave. Because had she came on a Dragon, she could have flew back in a couple of hours and been there.
Yeah, you know them dragons, man. They be out doing their own thing. You got to kind of, hey, go get my dragon, bro.
Pull my dragon around.
Pull my dragon around. Let me saddle it up. Feed it so it's not hungry, and I'm gonna go back. So it take a minute, like you said. And at that time, man, it's crazy because, of course, one of the handmaids discovered King Viserys is dead, and you know how it is back then. Whispers are like wildfire, you know. So they know.
Right.
And so Otto was asking, who knows? And so it's so funny to me because when Allison was saying the people that know, I'm like, you might as well keep that list going, girl, because
she don't even know.
Everybody knows.
I think that once she told Otto that Talia, her handmaid, knows, I think that kind of clicked something in his head because I think he knows that she's one of the spies because he's used the spies. And so when she said Talia knows, then like you said, she might as well just kept that list going because he hears that and it's like, well, shit, if she knows, fucking everybody know now. So
everybody know loose lip terrier can't keep a secret.
So
she gonna tell a whole realm.
That prompts him to have to jump into action. It's like, now my plan is accelerated. I got to make sure I start putting things into place because word's going to get out, and then we're going to lose our element of surprise. We're going to lose our advantage.
Right.
So
this was crazy. So we have a small council meeting where he's basically threatening everyone to join this side.
Right.
And he's like saying, okay, the king's dead. You pledge your loyalty to Rhaenyra, but now you need to pledge your loyalty to Aegon because the king whispered in his last words that Aegon should be king. Now, the man had over, 20-something years to change his mind. He ain't changed his mind in 20 years. And you told me the last day that he was alive, he was like, you know, all that shit I was talking, oh, yeah, don't worry about that. Go ahead, make Aegon shit. I would imagine it went something like that because it just doesn't make any sense. But I understand. You got your own agenda. I just don't understand his agenda because he can't, even if Aegon's king, auto position doesn't change. Like, you can't get more. Now, don't get me wrong. This is Thrones, where the most powerful piece is not the head, it's the neck, which is we're seeing with a lot of the characters.
Right.
It's about controlling from behind the scenes. So the neck is the most powerful position. But again, you would have lost that position. You wouldn't have been hand of the queen. And that's a fact because Then again,
that might be what it is. That might be what it is because Rhaenyra takes the throne. She's getting rid of Otto. So in order for him to preserve his place, he has to make sure that he has somebody on the throne that's going to.
When she was younger,
to
she even said when she was younger that Otto is aiming for your position, and that's when Varys even checked him. It's like, are you so thirsty to be on the throne that you would X, Y, and Z, yada yada yada?
Right.
And Otto was standing there with
clutching his pearls, like, you dare accuse me? It's like, I don't want your throne.
Your grace. Like, grace. You wouldn't. You tripping? Like, who in here spilling the beans, telling you my secrets? And I understand it's a position of power, but at the same time, man, it's like, all good things got to come to an end, baby. And then you just wasn't going to be it. You knew this already. Right. So if that was the case, you should have been putting a hit out way before time. Not this time. But I understand he's scrambling, like you said, to try to get these alliances to back Aegon. In the meantime, Aegon is nowhere to be goddamn found. This dude is literally gone. Nobody knows where he is. Allison's like, find Aegon to bitch ass Sir Christian Cole. And then Otto was like, find Aegon, bring him to me. Right. We did get twins this episode.
Yeah, Eric and Eric.
First of all, why?
I don't know, man.
One could have been named Jeffrey. The other one could have been named something else. Dahmer. I don't know. But now the race is on because we have to find Aegon. The reason why is because we got to get this thing done. We're trying to get him on the throne. We're trying to rally the troops. We're trying to get the ceremony going. We're trying to make this thing official. Which, again, I don't understand why. Because you don't have claims to the throne, and even if Rhaenyra comes back, she can easily put claims on the throne because everybody knows that she's the one that was betrothed the throne or inherited the throne, named heir to the throne. Mm-hmm. I'm trying to find the right capsulation of words to encumber to what I'm trying to say. She got the throne, so she can come back and challenge it at any one time, and they're gonna be like, you know what? I do remember the king saying she could have that thing. Yeah, let's overthrow. Like, your positioning doesn't. The only way this works for Otto is if he kills Rhaenyra and Daemon and her children.
I'm just thinking fucking Rhaenyra coming back like T'Challa did in Black Panthers, like, fucking Aegon, I did not yield, and as you can see, I am not dead.
Otto, like, all that challenge shit is over.
I'm the king now.
I'm the king now. That's a damn shit.
That was the only thing I was thinking. And it made me laugh so hard. That was the only thing I could think of. Just Rhaenyra coming in there fucking strapped, sword on her side, jump off the dragon. I ain't dead, bitch. This is my throne.
So I understand that they had basically kidnapped the queen to be, or the queen that never was, and they're trying to hold her in her room like she a child. This is a grown woman.
You send me there, you lock me in my room?
This got kids. She got responsibilities, and she got grandkids. You know what I'm saying? She was just spending the night because it get cold up there on Dragon when you're trying to fly home at night. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna go ahead and take a Motel 6 night stay, and you go leave the light on for me, and I'll fly home in the morning. She go to leaving out the. Why is this door locked? You know what I'm saying? What is going on in here? It does not take her long to figure out
what's going on. She looked out the window. She see everybody shuffling. She already knows.
The king is dead. Oh, here come Allison trying with this nonsense to pledge some allegiance to Aegon. Girl, you don't get out of this room.
But
She is not trying to hear none of that.
Even Rhaenys was like, "You are a lot smarter than I gave you credit for." She was like, "I just thought that you were just," because she said, "You know, you're still servicing men. Like all of this stuff. Have you never had the ambition to sit on the Iron Throne yourself?"
Which does make a lot of sense. As the queen right now, she could just be like, I got it.
Right.
And who's going to question it? I'm the queen. And so what Rhaenyra going to say? Well, I'm supposed to have the throne. Girl, if you don't go to Dragonstone and get out of here. Took care of your sick daddy dying. He was all pussy. He was like a sack of pus.
Aaron, where were you?
Like, you was flying on Dragonback. You was out there in the streets. You and Damon running them up.
Having babies with Sir Strong.
Yeah, having strong babies. Having them strong. And I think Rhaenyra probably would have been like, you know what? You're right. I'm going to go ahead and go home.
Yeah, I'm going to go back to Dragonstone.
The truth of the matter, Rhaenyra has everything that she wants. She got Daemon because she's always had a lust for Daemon. Mm-hmm. She got kids. She loves her kids. She's in drag. She got her own kingdom in Dragonstones by inheritance. Like, that's Daemon's area. Like, that's his.
Right.
So I think if there was a choice, she probably would have been like, "Fuck the realms, you can have it." Mm-hmm. I don't think she would. Don't get it twisted. I don't think she would have bent the knee, as in saying, "I'm pledging loyalty to you." I think she would have let you do you and I do me, and we could come and talk about it. But again, you got to remember where we were. We were at peace.
Right.
At that dinner, we were good. So it could have easily been.
Went to Rhaenyra and had a conversation. Send a raven. Let's talk about it. Because, like you say, Allison was asking, well, what of Rhaenyra? Nobody's told her anything. So Rhaenyra might have been amenable and been like, all right, I understand. Nope. But no, you going behind her back. Nobody told me nothing.
Come back with the head. Let me make sure it's up.
Exactly. So no, Rhaenyra was like, all right, you know what?
That's the game.
This is do a whole Wanda. This is me being grateful. This is me being nice.
This is being at my most.
But now
that you're stunning through a rock in a glass house, here come yours. Here come your rocks. Listen, it was a funny attempt to try to get all these people in a rush fashion to pledge loyalty. So just like, and I don't remember his name, the gentleman that was in the crowd that has pledging loyalties, he's watching. Very intelligent young man, older gentleman. He's watching the people that's opposing. Mm-hmm. They're being taken away. It doesn't take 2 and 2 to come together to get 4, 8, 6, 12. The match wrong, but you can see that they're not gonna make it.
Right.
So he like, yeah, I pledge loyalty.
I'm gonna go ahead and bend the knee.
I'm gonna bend the knee, but I gotta go out here and get these Jordans that just dropped real fast. So y'all go ahead, open the gate.
Let me go out and get some eggs real quick. I'll be back.
Right, I'll be back. Y'all want something? I'm gonna go, make a run. And at one point in time, I thought he was gonna actually make it, but the way they held the scene, I was like,
they taking way too long to open.
They taking too long to open that gate. As soon as that gate opened, they snatched his ass off that horse so fast he thought he got horse jacked. Yeah. I was like, damn, it was Grand Theft Auto with horses.
Grand Theft Horse.
Get your ass off this goddamn. Where you going? And I'm like, I don't know why he didn't just say, hey, I could go for a ride. I'm going to the meadow. I'm going to the swim hole.
Everything you need in King's Landing. You ain't got to go nowhere.
That ain't true. They got a Netflix that's, I could go chill somewhere. They got stuff you can do outside of that goddamn kingdom. They got some new brothels or something. I don't know what. Listen, your life on the line. You gonna think of something.
Say something. He didn't say nothing.
He didn't say nothing. I'm thinking he about to spit a high 16. I'm thinking like, yo, I'm about to go get the. He didn't say nothing, and they immediately took that as, oh, you about to go run and snitch.
You about to go snitch. So
you about to go tell Rhaenyra. So we got something for you. Up. Here we go. We are in full-fledged panic mode. Anybody that's opposing Aegon taking the throne. Otto is in silent mode.
Because we didn't even mention, like we were saying before, that Otto knows that Talia is one of the spies. He rounded up all of the servants of the house, locked them all up. Because he knows if I let any of you go, y'all gonna run, go stitch, go tell, go do something.
Go run, tell that.
Yeah, and y'all gonna get into y'all little network, and y'all gonna be out in the wind, and I'm never gonna see you again. So go ahead, all of y'all, you. Come on, y'all going to the dungeon. Y'all getting locked up.
Big boss shit. That's what it was. There was a big boss move, and here we go. Now we have to find Aegon. Mm-hmm. This dude is in the city, and we have now his brother, I want to call him the assassin, because this dude looked like he just murdered for fun. He's not Daemon, but if what they say,
if you didn't
imitation is almost a serious form of flattery, right? Because dude, he was Daemon 3.2.
If you didn't know the lineage of any of the kids of this show, and you had him and Daemon standing next to each other, they're like, yeah, that's Daemon's son right there. You
would think so. Because everything about him, even the missus, like, he's going to be Daemon so bad. He's going to be Daemon so goddamn bad. She said, you can't be goddamn Daemon. I need you to go sit down. But again, you're riding the biggest dragon in the sky.
Right.
You go feel some kind of way. That's that dragon. That's weird. That's like a measuring contest, you know what I'm saying? It's like, I got the biggest dragon out here. I wish somebody would say something.
But I mean, he makes a great point, because he's like, we're spending all of this time and effort trying to find Aegon. He was like, let him die. Let him do what he wants to do. Let him be gone. I'm the one that's studying the lineage. I'm the one that's studying the history. I'm in the books. I'm fighting the fights. I'm out here training up to become the strongest. I ride the biggest dragon in the land. If anybody need to be king, I need to be king. I should be king.
Right here is me. And Sir Christian with the bitch ass. By the way, that whole name is his name. It's like
Sir Christian the bitch ass.
Yeah, like the kids got to be bastards. Sir Christian with his bitch ass. Like, you're looking at him and like, man, if you don't help me find Aegon,
right? The queen said we have to find Aegon, so we gonna do what the queen said to do.
Here's the question: is the queen Sir Christian with his bitch ass fucking?
No, they're not, and I think that what it is that he has this sort of puppy dog mentality.
I know that he was going to kill himself.
Yeah, because she quote unquote saved him. So now it's like, oh, you saved my life, so I pledge my life to you. So I'm gonna wow the fuck out anytime somebody look at you sideways.
This dude on something. He on that poppy. I'm telling you, he ain't sipping it.
If we think about it, he's been like this since, like we say, he's been like this since Rhaenyra wanted to make her his whore. Because when they were at the wedding and he saw that...
Talking about dodging a bullet.
Right. Like, you about to get in this abusive ass relationship. As soon as Joffrey went up and talked to him, was like, look, I just want to strike a deal with you. I got my interest, you got your interest. Let's let bygones be bygones, but we just going to make this thing work. And as soon as, all of that happened, Kristen clicked the fuck out, and he's been on one ever since.
That's what that poppy do you.
He got a stash under his fucking armor or some shit.
He can't get to it. That's why
that's why he's so mad.
He's fucking mad. Take that shit off, man.
It takes 5 hours to get out of his damn armor. You got to wake up at 1 o'clock in the morning just so you can get dressed.
This dude here is wilding and murdering people. So now we finally find Aegon. Aegon is in the goddamn temple. Now, not to mention that we hit the streets, we hit the brothels, and it's so interesting because one of the ladies, or the madams, recognize, not Sir Christian, recognize, what's his name?
Aemon.
Recognize Aemon as like, throw that little slick slide comment out like,
it was like, you done grown up.
You done growed up. And Aemon was looking with that Cyclops, and he was like, girl, let me pass.
Like, look, I got business to handle right now, but I'm gonna come back later.
You know what I'm saying? Keep the light on for me, Motel 6. I'll come back and see what's up. So they find Aegon underneath the goddamn... Dude, why are you under there? Like, make it make sense. Why are you under there?
I really think that he paid them to hide him. Because
he didn't even know the king was dead, though.
But I still think that he just didn't want to be around. I think that he didn't
leave King's Landing.
So here's the thing. So we know that, of course, at some point during the night, Aegon snuck out. We know that.
We know that's not something that he don't do. He sneaks out and rapes.
Yeah. And so he sneaks out all the time. And so what I think may have happened is that in the early hours of the morning, we saw that the little kid found out that Viserys was dead. He went, ran, tell whoever he needed to tell, Talia, whoever. They told the White Worm, Mysaria, and Mysaria probably already knew that Aegon was out there. So she might have told her. She might have like, yo, your daddy died.
You know your dad did, right?
They're going to come for you. You gonna be a king. And he's like, I don't want that. Look, I'm gonna give you 100 gold. Hide me. Like, you have an underground network of spies. You have all of these sneaky shit that you do. Hide me. And
this goes to show you the immaturity that you really think you can hide from this responsibility.
Right. But we saw that when the twins were looking for him, they went into this little underground kitty fight ring.
Yes.
And so we saw that one of the kids that was sitting on the side was one of Aegon's kids. Like you said, he going out and raping these women. And I don't know, twin 1 talked to twin 2 because I don't know which is which, but he said, is that one of Aegon's? And he was like, yeah, one of many, probably. He's basically funding this ring. So he probably told Mysaria, he was like, well, no, because she even said that when and like you said, we're jumping around, but when Otto came to her for help trying to find out where Aegon was, she said, we want you to stop our children from being used in these fight rings. So I don't know. I think Aegon had some kind of deal, tried to get them, because how else would she know where he was? How else would he have gotten under the altar? You know, I don't know. I feel like they hit him, but they double crossed him and then just ratted out where he was. I don't know.
Oh yeah, because she didn't give up that information for free.
Oh, absolutely.
She got other little spies too, and it was like, tell me where Aegon is. I'm like, well, I don't remember the young lady's name, but she's like, I'm not gonna tell you nothing. My mistress ain't gonna just give that information up willingly. What's in it for her?
Right. She's like yo, she needs
to talk to the realm. Talk to the king.
Like, you tell us and we'll determine whether it's worth the price. Like, that ain't the way this works.
Dude, you give me the coins and then I'll take you to her. Yeah. And rightfully so, because you can't trust Sir Christian with his bitch ass. Anyway, they get Aegon from underneath the temple, and here we go. We bring on the Allison, which is a power.
But before they had that fight.
Really, was it a fight though?
I mean, it was telling in a sense, because Eric, twin 1 was fighting Kristen, and twin 2 was like, you know what? I'm tired of this shit, because Aegon shouldn't be king. Aegon is an asshole. Aegon is immature, and I don't want to. And a rapist. We will not gloss past that fact, but I don't want to swear my allegiance to him. So if they do, let his ass get killed. I don't give a fuck. I don't want to be a part of this fight. And he was like, you got this, and he clean walked off
on his own brother.
His brother was like, "Are you not gonna help me?" Nah, you got it. You got it. But so,
as we could quote the great Jordan Peele,
nope. So Kristen is fighting the twin, and then Aegon he's trying to run away. Aemon catches up to him, and Aegon is like pleading. He's like, I'll run away. I'll hop on the boat. You'll never hear from me again. Just let me go. He's like, I'm not fit to be king. And Aemon was like, you are not going to get an argument from me there. I am not about to try to stroke your ego
I really
and say,
thought he was
no.
going to help him escape. I thought he was going to put him on some type of boat and get him out of there. Because again, if he's not there, next in line is he.
It's Aemon, but I think Aemon is still, he's loyal. He's still loyal. He will still follow the practices. He's not going to go out of line.
Ain't loyal. Chris Brown told you these hoes ain't loyal.
But Aemon is basically like, look, I'm not about to argue with you and stroke your ego, but like, no, you're cool, you're a good guy, you'll be a great kid. You're like, no, you're a fucking idiot. And like, if mom didn't send us out here to collect your ass, then I wouldn't give a shit.
Facts. So now that we got him dolled up, Allison got him, and again, it's a power move because Otto was looking for Aegon, Allison was looking for Aegon.
Right, so, and she literally said, find him, bring him to me. And Otto told the twins, he's like, find Aegon, bring him straight to me.
Because again, like you were saying, it's all about the Whispers who can control him. Because clearly Allison was saying, do not kill Rhaenyra.
Right.
Even though your grandfather is going to tell you to kill her.
He's going to say we have to kill her in order to retain you on the throne. Keep talking. I'm going fill my cup
up. That's a large order. So we were looking at the situation of what's Aegon going to do. Aegon has no clue what he's going to do because he doesn't even want this situation of being king. It's interesting to watch as they try to position this young man into a role he clearly does not want.
Right.
So he's even asking Allison, is this what Dad really wanted, King Viserys? Is this what he really wanted? Because he had 20 plus years to make me king. Now all of a sudden, out of nowhere,
his mind once.
And not only that, he's dealing with real daddy issues because he thinks that the king didn't even love him, which we saw. That's not true. Mm-hmm. He actually very much did love his kids, and
especially his firstborn son.
This makes no sense. I'm not sure where he got this information from. Now, his son's a fuck up, but again, that doesn't mean that he didn't love him. So,
and even Allison called him out because he was like, do you love me? And she just looked at him like, you imbecile. It's just to say, like, yes, you're my child. Of course I love you.
God damn, you're an idiot. This is what the realm is gonna get. This is the best the realm is gonna get. So we now fast forward to the ceremony, and the ceremony is, I'm not gonna say it's jinky, but it is rushed.
It's absolutely rushed. They literally forced the entire city into, I think that was a dragon pit. The dragon pit was underneath it. Yeah. So they rushed. They literally went through the city like, everybody get out of the streets. Everybody got to go to this ceremony.
Come on out the brothel. We have a king, a new king.
But we also see that Eric went to try to get Rhaenys out of there. And it's like, look, you got to get out of here. You got to, go tell somebody what's going on because you're like really our only hope at this point. And she basically was like, oh, I want to get my dragon. He's like, there's no time. They're going to expect you.
And they're going to expect you to go and get your dragon.
And so you have to catch a boat, do something, get back to Driftmark, just tell the other, kingdoms, this is what's going on, if they already haven't gotten word, because like you said, they had that rush meeting of who was going to pledge their allegiance to Aegon. But so they get swept up in all of the
emotion. Is it Driftmark or Driftwood? I just don't want
Driftmark.
I thought it was Driftwood. Okay, so I'm right in my mind. Don't research it. Let it.
I got to make sure we. I gotta make sure that we giving out the right information.
Well, they're gonna let us know in the comments.
Well, we're gonna make sure that we're correct before they get to the
Is
comments.
it drift? I thought it was driftwood instead
mark.
of driftwood. Okay, so I was right in my mind. That mean I was right in reality. Anyway, so she's getting caught up in the madness. Can't go this way, can't go that way. They get separated. We are now introduced to the ceremony where we see Aegon coming through in his Sunday's best to be crowned king. And then Rhaenys slips away, unbeknownst to anyone.
Feel like I've seen enough.
Makes her way to the dragon pit. Come bursting out the goddamn ground.
Beast under the
From
boards.
the ground to the
beast beneath the boards.
It wasn't peace. Looked like it was a goddamn war.
No.
Came
beast
through
beneath the boards.
Well, that's what I wouldn't have said. Came through, started swinging a tail, hitting innocent people. Just like, I'm just here.
Ain't no innocent people. Ain't no innocent bystanders in Westeros.
Well, the thing about it is, I was in the brothel minding my own business. I got pulled out, and now I got to go to the ceremony. I wasn't even ready, and now all of a sudden I'm running from dragons, swinging tails and stuff. Some people got hit. Some people died.
Absolutely.
And it was just like, see, that's why the cheap seats pay off. If you was right there in the front, you would have got killed. You just get these cheap seats in the back. You can get on out of there. They tripping again. This is why I don't even come around. I'm about to move and go to the drift mark. So Rhaenys comes through and looks right at Alicent, referencing back to the conversation that they had earlier, because she was telling Alicent was telling Rhaenys that you're not going to leave this room basically until you pledge loyalty to Aegon.
Right.
So, remember, surprise, motherfucker. She was like, remember you try to lock me up? Now, here's what the world on the internet, or the internet, which is the world, is saying. We got Rhaenys on her dragon, standing right there. The bloodline is on stage. We got Otto, we got Alicent, we got Aegon, we got Sir Christian Cole with his bitch ass. Everybody is on stage. We are one word away from ending all of this. One word.
Nice.
And that's all that had to be said. You would have had French fries all over the stage.
It would have been crispy Sir Kristen.
With his bitch ass. It would have been done. It would have been done. And then you could have still gone and say, hey, Rhaenyra, guess what happened? My bad. I know you mad, right, but not really.
This is what had happened was.
Every good story starts with those words. What had happened was two heads, and you would have said they was trying to overthrow what your dad had said, and they would have fucked up the alliance that we had made, because we had already betrothed, got it right that time, these kids together to make this house strong and make this bloodline stronger, which actually is probably the best thing that can happen for us, because it's no more incest. God damn it, these kids are strong, and these are
yeah. I mean, it's incest in the sense because they're still cousins. They're like third cousins.
Yeah, everybody knows after your third cousin they don't count, so it's all right.
The views of all things super.
Stop kissing cousins. We're not from that part of the South. I want you all to know that. That's way deep down. You need a passport to get down there. Not even a normal, not even a federal one. It's like a passport made of dirt. It's like, let me see your papers, and you just pull out this like a mud pie. Here it is, right here. Anyway, so we didn't execute the plan of rotisserie royalty. No. It's a question mark. It's a question mark. Why didn't? Okay, so it's now I see you. You see me. You see that I see you, and I know that you see you, that I see you and you see me. Now I'm out. I'm leaving. I was like, when you could have just, if you was going to do that, you could have just left. But I understand. You wanted to, you're not going to leave your dragon. Yeah, but at the same time, is that the only exit that you could have made? I think there's another hole.
I know they got a garage door. They got a sliding door out the back or something. You could have just moved
hit the button. To the left. You came straight up. Okay, so clearly you're seeking attention. Right. But now you don't execute the execution. And now you leave. They try to close the door, which I thought was stupid too. Why would you say close the door? Because if you close the door, now you got this dragon in here with this hot bird that couldn't actually set everything on fire and burn it down.
They were still trying to close the door, but Otto kept screaming, "Open the door!" But you can't. He's all the way over here. The door's all the way over here. You got a big ass dragon in the middle. You yelling, "Open the door!" You expect him to hear you?
I ain't even in the room. I'm watching Netflix. The door
trying to push it close.
I'm watching Netflix in the chambers. I'm not even about to play with y'all. But she makes it out the door, and everybody knows that she's going to go tell Rhaenyra about what's going on. So the oh shit moment just hit the fan, because even though y'all was able to get the ceremony, do this, find Aegon, discuss the plans, find Aegon, do the ceremony, and anoint him as king. We got all of that. It's now about to be all thrown out the window.
But is it though?
What do you mean, is it though? You think Daemon is going to sit back?
No, I know there's going to be a fight. There is absolutely going to be a fight.
Going to be a dance with the dragons. But the question is, will it be this season though? Because we're only one episode away from the finale.
1 episode away from the season finale. Next episode is the last one of the season. How far will they get into the story? Will there be a resolution?
Will it be a time jump again?
I hope not.
Because
I think the only way you can have a time jump is like, oh, we didn't jump to the end of the war, so this is what happened. That would piss everybody off.
Listen, they don't care. They don't care at all. They've been jumping time since they started the show. I will say this, though. I heard that there's a long waiting time in between season 1 and season 2. This is some nonsense that they were doing with Thrones originally, because we were working with the writer, what's his name,
George R.R. Martin.
Sure, I knew there was double letters in there somewhere.
J.J. Abrams.
So, it's a writer with a lot of letters. So R.R. They were doing that, and again, listen, the books is already done, so I don't know why they're taking that long of a hiatus. If they're taking that long of a hiatus, 2 years is a long time to get it together. Now, I know there's a lot of work that goes into this, and there's a lot of CGI that goes into these dragons. Dragons look phenomenal, by the way.
Absolutely.
HBO,
100%.
HBO set the bar with Thrones the first go round, because I think they were dropping 10 mil an episode to create.
We saw how much they were dropping an episode. When it was like 25 million an episode?
I think they're like 25 to 30 million. Yeah, it's an insane budget. It's an insane budget that'll make you just go ahead and tuck your little dragons in if you're trying to do something remotely close to something like this. And they set the bar high. It's really high. So unless you got like a dragon that's a shadow, like you know how you have the little dragon on the
shadow puppet.
That's all you could do, unless you about to drop out 30 to 40 million per episode. You're not about to touch this. The story is good. I'm gonna just say that. It's a lot of things don't make sense, but yet and still is entertaining.
Yes.
Where are we going from? Again, I don't read the books, and I know there's a war coming. But the last episode, I think they're not going to put it all in the last. It's not going to put it all on the line. There may not even be a war. It may just be kind of like a standoff to keep you on the edge of your seat. 2 years is a long time to wait. Spider, Game of Thrones, House of the Dragons. Second to last episode.
Mm-hmm.
What are we gonna expect into the final episode?
In the finale, of course, like we said, obviously Rhaenys is going to tell Rhaenyra basically
she got I'm gonna tell all over our face.
Right. Ooh, I'm gonna tell. That's literally she didn't say anything when she was sitting on top of the dragon, but that's what her look said, like, ooh, I'm gonna go tell.
You know you fucked up, right? Fucked up.
And this episode 10 is where we're gonna have fucked up fuck around is gonna meet find out. So Rhaenyra is, of course,
gonna feel again. What's that?
Fuck around is gonna meet find out. It's gonna happen.
Never heard that before in my life.
Yeah. Fuck around is gonna meet find out.
Meet find out. All right, I got you.
This is when the intersection of fuck around and find out. There's gonna be a fucking head-to-head collision.
When cousins collide, I got you.
But of course, Rhaenyra is going to feel some kind of way because, one, like we talked about, they didn't even pretend to try to tell her that our father died.
Well, they sent out terms. So your dad's dead. You could come home every other weekend and
did they send out terms though, or then was that Otto sending out like his plan to like all of his allies, saying this is what we about to do? I don't think
Allison wants terms sent out.
Allison wanted terms sent out, but did they send them out? I don't think Otto had anything sent out because it's clear that Otto is running the show right now.
Otto had them goons sent out, and I don't think he's listening to Allison because he's like, I'm about to pull rank because you over here trying to be friendly.
And I'm going to do what I want to do because nobody's going to stop me right now.
Well, Allison, again, and we alluded to this earlier, has come to terms that I finally put it all together and I see what
like
you've been doing.
Your plan the entire time.
The whole time.
And then the fact that he pulled out the mother card again. You know you look so much like your mother at some lights.
Oh yeah, that's creepy.
That's so because he all the way back in the beginning of the season, he was like, go put on your mother's dress so she could seduce Viserys in the wake of him losing his wife. And so it's like for him to bring all of that back, not only he was the one that took Allison away from Rhaenyra. They were best friends, but now you like, this is not your best friend anymore. This is now your stepdaughter because you have to place yourself firmly in the king's eyesight because this is your ambition in life now for you to become queen. So he ruined. Otto is the one that ruined this whole friendship between Allison and Rhaenyra, and it escalated and got strained because of stuff that Rhaenyra did and Allison's perceived responsibility as queen. So of course they came to head with that. But for Otto to be like, oh well, you just want to protect your friend, and it was like, no shit. It's like you took me out of this friendship. You put me in this position. So all of that stuff she sees.
And now you want to kill her. Now you want to send a squad out there.
So Allison is seeing that all of this stuff, all of these years that have gone by, I'm thinking that my father just wants the best for me. He wants to see me succeed. He wants to see me excel in life. No, I've been a pawn in his entire plan this whole time. And
that's not sitting well with her.
No, so this is why she's like, I need to get to Aegon first because I need to sort of impart a mother's love onto him to teach him, or at least have him show compassion. I don't want you to go out there and order Rhaenyra to be killed. Because if Otto got a hand on Aegon, we saw that when they were in Driftmark and Aegon was drunk on the steps. He kicked him. He's like, get your drunk ass up.
Get your bitch ass up.
And so Otto would take Aegon. He's like, look, He probably just grab him by his shirt and be like, "This is what you're gonna do. We're gonna name you king. Your first order of business. You're gonna send a squad to Dragonstone. Rhaenyra, Daemon, all of those kids. Every single one of them gotta die. And this is what I need you to do, and you need to do it now. We're gonna go into this council. That's gonna be your first order as king. And from there on out, everything that Otto would say, Aegon would do. So Alicent had to get to him first.
It makes sense.
But
here's the thing. Mm-hmm. Oh, go ahead.
Well, what I'm saying to answer your question, what I think we're going to see in the final episode of the season, of course, Rhaenyra is going to be pissed. Rhaenyra is going to be pissed. Daemon's going to be pissed because, like you said before, we see Daemon loves his brother. They had their issues, they had their tiffs and all this other kind of stuff, but at the end of the day, that's still my brother. I still love him. And now, not only did you keep the news away from us that my brother is dead, you usurped me. I am rightful heir to the throne. You took that away from me. So now we about to throw hands. So now I'm going to amass every single person that I can have on my side because, you got your little squad and everything. So, I mean, it maybe right now is just Dragonstone and Driftmark. Maybe those are the only allies that we have, but I don't know. But it's gonna come to head. It's gonna be a clash, like you said. It's gonna be a dance of the dragons. So I cannot see us getting through episode 10 without having some type of battle. If it's going to be a full-out war, I don't know, but there's going to be some kind of fight. So.
If that's the case, we have to start immediately in the war and just be action-packed with small dialogue in the middle. But then again, like you said, we'll feel cheated. I want to talk about the sly snake of the episode, the foot fetish king himself. This dude came out, and it's so interesting because he was like, "Your Grace will find a way to reward me."
That's what she's been doing.
Clearly, it's been going on for some time. Because you could see the annoyance when she had put her stockings on the table.
Do this shit again. That's literally her face. Is like, fuck, I don't feel like doing this shit, but I have to get information.
And then for him to hold on to the information more so until she took those stockings off. Yep. And then this dude started pleasuring himself in front of her
to the side,
and she just had to turn away. Well, foot fetish is a real thing, and I understand it.
I realize that it's a real thing.
They go put it in the show because I guess I didn't expect it to be in the show. That
was not a plot point that I saw coming up in the show at all.
I bet your Google searches went up because they wanted to see what the excitement was about.
The actress, I believe her name is Olivia Cook, that plays Alicent. Yeah,
Olivia Cook feet.
That's what I say. I feel sorry for her because I know that scene probably got screenshotted so many times. And all of the people who have foot fetishes out there, she's on Wiki Feet now. Olivia Cook, I'm sorry.
I think there's worse things you could be on Wikipedia for. So
yeah,
it's so interesting that that's their dynamic now because clearly she wasn't going to sleep with him. It wasn't that type of relationship. And I don't think he would dare try. I mean, how close intimacy can you get? That's clearly the closest he can get.
Right.
Without having a relationship, And
it's basically just blackmail because of the things that him killing the Strongs. And the thing about it is that he's holding this over her.
Land. I would have took some gold.
I mean, he has hair and all. I mean, we don't know if he's not getting paid, but
I don't need to see your feet.
The thing about it is that
that's not gonna do it for me.
He's holding this over Alicent's head when Alicent never even asked him to do this. She never even insinuated that that's what she wanted him to do.
But at the same time, his skills and his his level of discretion that's an ace in the hole.
Right.
She can utilize him in a stealth mode and execute anybody as she sees for fit.
Right.
She has
That
Sir
is what she
Christian
did
Cole with his
it
bitch
seems
ass
like
to do it publicly, but
Massaria is
quietly.
probably dead now because her place got torched. But we don't know if she was there or not because we saw when the Strongs died, we saw the scene that they were locked in the room trying to get out. We saw them in the fire. As far as Massaria's home, we just saw that it was on fire. We don't know if she was there or not. So, is she dead?
The rule of cinema: if you don't see it, if you didn't see the murder or the death, and there's no body to confirm it, then they're not dead.
So Massaria the white worm,
unless you get confirmation.
The white worm lives another day.
Yeah, why is it the white worm? That sounds like weird. The weirdest fucking name.
It does. I don't know. Like you said when we first started doing House of the Dragon, these names stick. You know, they don't always choose them, but they stick. So Sir Kristen and his bitch ass. So hopefully that sticks.
With his bitch ass. Yeah. Well, hashtag with his bitch ass. That's what we need to do to make it stick. Sir Christian with his bitch ass. This dude is out here just murdering people.
Yeah.
Listen.
I'm surprised he didn't murder Eric in the streets.
Say it for me one more time.
I'm surprised he didn't murder Eric in the streets when they were fighting and trying to get Aegon.
I think if he could have, he would have. Because this dude has no regards. I mean, he's about to be the mayor. Because every time he kills somebody, he get a promotion.
He about to be the damn king.
The mayor of fucking King's Landing. Or at least... Shit, he might be the hand.
I mean, he's essentially going to be the chief of police, so.
Well, he's on his way to do these goddamn murders. Goddamn, man. That's a bitch ass. I'm just saying this. This is about to hit the fan, and I don't want to be nowhere in the vicinity when Rhaenyra gets that news that her dad's dead, and guess what? Your brother is now king. Mm-hmm. It's not speculation. It's not a situation that, they're going to make him king or they're talking about him being king. He king. They had the ceremony. They put the crown on his head.
Right.
That's not going to sit well with her. And if she comes through with that dragon, it's about to get hot.
Aegon's whole attitude changed. They were riding the carriage on the way to the ceremony. He seemed like so unsure. But once Alicent gave him the dagger, he seemed like he was mesmerized by it.
Yeah.
And so when he gets up and he's on stage and they proclaim him king and he sees all this adulation for him, it's like he immediately got drunk with power. So we can see how easily a person can be corrupted and can be turned, because this whole time he was like, I don't want this. I don't want this. I don't want to be king. But as soon as you got a room full of people cheering for you, you're like,
yeah.
I'm king.
You know what you know what I was thinking when I saw that moment? I was like, that's so sad, man. Clearly somebody go get raped tonight. So I don't know who it's gonna be. But Aegon is in his raping prime right now. Somebody's about to, hey, better hide your kids, hide your wife, lock your door. There's the king outside. He's on the prowl, looking for somebody to rape. He's a rapist. Your king is a rapist.
That's gonna be that's gonna be his name. The King Aegon the Rapist.
It sticks.
And it sticks. It is gonna stay with him for the rest of his goddamn life.
God damn, man. It's Thrones, baby. It's what it is. House of the Dragons. It is a hot mess. This is daytime TV with dragons in it. That's what it is.
This is nighttime TV. This is prime time after dark. This is not daytime television.
I'm just saying the storyline is real soap opera.
The storyline absolutely is soap opera. It's your nighttime soap operas for sure.
And it's messy. I guess that's why we're here for it, because who doesn't want to see a train wreck?
That is true. Can't take your eyes off of it.
The people on the train don't want to see it. I can guarantee you that. They want
to get off the train.
And we got one more episode. I think what we're going to see in this last episode is not going to be the conclusion that we really want, but I don't think it's going to disappoint either. I
agree with that.
I think it's going to be more of plotting than on guard rush King's Landing. And I think because Damon, again, he moves with purpose. He don't just rush in. Right. Even that time when he did rush in, it was a plan. And even though he was ready to die, it was just a part of the plan to try to draw the Crab King out. Then the Crab King retreated like a crab. But again, the dragon came and then the reinforcements came behind it, which gave Damon that extra confidence and boost to go into the hole and drag the Crab King out. Again, the point of what I'm saying is he doesn't do things just to do them. There's thought behind it. So I don't think we're about to see, I don't think we're about to see Rhaenyra fight at all. But Damon is not the hand, but he is the hand that's going to swing the sword. He's going to protect his family and his bloodline. But I don't think he's going to rush in. I think it's going to be more tactical. He's going to try to get more information before he makes a move. But when that move is made, blood will be shed. Absolutely. So I don't think we're going to see it in the final episode. In fact, I'll be surprised if they don't do something crazy like throw a flashback back to when they were kids and you get more backstory about how they were really close. Well, they can. It's their show.
They can. That's why I say I hope not. I would like to see a progression of the story. I would like to see, like I say, even if it's something where we keep it open-ended to where we go into season 2 and they have to pick up the story. But I just want to have some type of continuation of everything that's going on.
I don't know. Spider.
Yo.
Was this episode super?
Man.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
The only thing that I can say is absolutely this episode was super. It's
goddamn, you had some people scared.
Like you say, it's Thrones. It's Game of Thrones. The House of the Dragon.
Thrones, baby.
The story, in it. Even the whole thing with Sir Larys and his foot fetish. It's just they throw stuff at you that you don't expect every single time.
Right in front of her, dude. Like you go pleasure yourself right in front of her. Just come on, man.
But the show is on point. The story is entertaining. It's very gripping, and he
was gripping it.
But it keeps you looking forward, because one of the things that I said when we first started House of the Dragon, I said, the story is entertaining, but at the beginning of the series, I said that I'm enjoying the show, but it's not keeping me on the edge of my seat. It's not like, I'm waiting for episode 2 of House of the Dragon.
I remember you saying that.
And now here we are at episode 9, and yes, I am ready for episode 10.
So you waiting for it?
I am on the edge of my seat in anticipation for episode 10. The show has, and this is what you want in the show. And we said this many a time on different episodes of ATS. This is what you want. You want to be able to get that interest and have it steadily go up, and just keep you grab an audience and you keep that audience and you keep them coming back because they don't know what to expect. And now we know that these are books. We know that the story is already predetermined, but the way that, and I've mentioned it before, episode after episode after episode, the way that they take these scenes and there's so much emotion conveyed in non-verbal glances. Like we said, Rhaenys was sitting on the dragon like, just looking at Alicent's like, you done fucked up and you know exactly what I'm about to do. And I think that's why she didn't burn them, because she wanted them to know that I know what's going on and you are about to have to deal with this.
But Alicent stood in front of Aegon as a mother protecting her child. I think
And
she
I think
was
that's
ready
all,
to
yeah.
die.
But I think that's also why Rhaenys didn't burn it, because I think she's still, like we said, she met her in her room. She said, "You're a lot smarter than I thought you were." I think she respects her as her position as queen, and I think she respects her as a mother.
Again, you don't want to be known as a queen killer. Just
No,
these titles don't go away.
she's going to be the queen who never was, the queen killer, the killer of the greens. You know, like you said, these names stick, and she doesn't want that hanging over her for the rest of her life. But hell yeah, absolutely, this episode is super, 100%. The fucking House of the Dragon is just they're killing it. They're killing it.
It's Thrones, baby. It's Thrones. It's Thrones. And
But
I
what
knew you
about
would
you,
come around.
Mr. VIP Frank Washington? I'm still not going back and watch Game of Thrones though. But Mr. VIP Frank Washington.
Let's see how you feel once Dragons wrap. Because I'm gonna tell you this
with absolute certainty.
Okay. Remember, you said you wasn't gonna be sitting on the edge of your seat waiting for the next episode too.
Yeah,
I just want to reference that real fast.
Yeah, I already just referenced it, but I know I'm not about to sit there.
Game of Thrones, like the regular Game of Thrones.
Not about to watch
the regular Game of Thrones is good. I'm not even good. There's some things in there.
I am not
that's make you say, "Oh wow, this is crazy." There's gonna be some
things in there just like, "Oh, I didn't need to see that," and I could go the rest of my life without having to know that because I'm not watching Game of Thrones.
Mark this time, ladies and gentlemen. Remember what Snyder said.
ATS episode 50 whatever. Mark it down. So
50 whatever.
I don't know. This is episode 50 something. We're almost 60. But
that's normally how numbers work. So yeah, I got you.
But Mr. VIP Frank Washington, what did you think about episode 9 of House of the Dragon? Is it super?
The episode, listen, she should have said Jakartas. If you would have said Jakartas, this is the word. You hear this in the streets. You riding the subway in New York, somebody said Jakartas, you looking around where the dragons at. So I think people on the edge of their seat really waiting for Rhaenys to kind of like end this bullshit that's going on because the whole episode was a whole bunch of fuckery. We had the whole bloodline on stage. You could have ended the war before the war even started. So again, was it super? Yes, it was. You know it was. If you're listening to this, you know it was because it just is. And that's it. There's nothing that needed to be changed on it. It was interesting. It was compelling. It was Thrones. It definitely took you. I wasn't expecting this dude to really pleasure himself to the queen. Listen, the hypocrisy, who's worse now? Rhaenyra or Alicent? Because remember Alicent was judging Rhaenyra hard because, you know, she took a ride on Sir Christian Cole bitch ass. So she was just like this, you're the princess and this is the realm, and if the word gets out, but you're the queen. And you over here, clearly this foot transaction was going on while the king was alive. Oh, I think. Oh, it's not infidelity. It's not infidelity. Oh, isn't it?
I think it's just two sides of the same coin, and both of them. I don't think one's really worse than the other. They're just doing what
they need to do to survive.
Yeah, because I mean, you think about it. Because all right, so
Rhaenyra had impulses. She was a teenager.
True. But it seems, you know, it goes all the way back, like you said, it goes back to them being kids. You know, Alicent, although she was following her father's wishes, but she supplanted herself into basically, you know, granting, you know, getting the king's favor in order to get herself into there for him to marry her. And Alicent is basically, it's been like tit for tat. You know, Alicent does something, Rhaenyra does something. Alicent does something, Rhaenyra does something. Rhaenyra slept with Kristen. Alicent comes back and even though she got all pissed at Rhaenyra for quote unquote lying to her, even though she was specifically asking her about Daemon, but she found out about Kristen and she got pissed off about it. She has Aegon. Aegon grows up. Aegon rapes a handmaiden and gets her pregnant, or potentially gets her pregnant. Allison coming in with the tea is like, "Look, I'm gonna pay you for your. I'm gonna pay you for your silence. I'm gonna give you this tea, so you know, any chances that you having a child gets wiped out." And Rhaenyra helps orchestrate Laenor's fake death so she can marry Daemon. You know, both of them were doing shady shit. So I don't think one is worse than the other. I just think, like you said, they're both doing what they feel that they need to do to survive, to, you know, in order for them to be able to cement themselves in what they feel that their role is.
Speaking of which, do you think he'll come back at any point in time?
Laenor?
Or you think he's gone?
I think he's gone. I don't see any reason for him to come back, because all it's going to do is just cause problems. I think he's gone. He's happy with his man, and he's going to live his life and just not have to worry about all of this bullshit that's back at King's Landing.
One thing you don't want to do is go King's Landing, even to visit. You just stay out of there.
Apparently, it's never a good time to visit King's Landing. Because I mean,
dragons just bust out floors. It's just hot work.
I feel like even because he and Rhaenyra got married, I don't think any of them wanted it. I don't, like we were saying, I don't think anybody who's been married in the show has wanted to be married. Like after, because Corlys and Rhaenys, we don't even know if they, you know, married for love. I feel like Viserys loved Emma. I truly feel like Viserys really loved Emma.
Well, you could tell by his last words.
Yeah,
it wasn't my love.
And
it sounded like he was struggling to get that part out.
After that, every single marriage of the next generation has just been orchestrated. Everybody's been betrothed, and so there is no, you know, what I guess what I'm saying is that what allegiance does Laenor have to come back? He doesn't have kids with Rhaenyra.
No,
you know, the only connection that he had was being married to her. So now that that's dissolved because he's perceived to be dead, I don't see him having a reason to come back. And there's nothing for him to gain. The only thing there is to gain from him coming back is death.
Is to see his mother.
I don't even think that.
Wow! This man can't even see his mom.
I don't know if he even. I don't know what the relationship between him and his mom was, because they never really shared a scene like talking about it.
This is true. This is very true. But she did cry over his corpse, so
she did. But I feel like, you know, that's a mother's love. You know, regardless of if she revered him as somebody, because even she said that she wanted the Driftmark throne to skip over him and go to Baela. Because after the way he was at Laenyce's wedding, or not Laenys, Laena. After the way he was at Laena's wedding, he was ready to throw himself in the sea. And so she's like, obviously he's not mentally stable. You know, he's not in the right frame of mind to take upon the throne. I don't think he's going to be able to take these responsibilities. So instead of having Luke, his son, who is not his son, take the Driftmark throne, let it skip over. Let it skip over Laenor, go straight to Baela. She's of Valyrian blood. And Corlys like, nah. No, because history doesn't remember blood. History remember names.
They remember names. Like feet fetish boy.
And that's what it will forever remembered as. But yeah, God. So you know, it is what it is. But yeah, so we'll see what episode 10 brings. But if you like this episode of us talking about episode 9, let us know. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell so you can be notified when we have new episodes that come out. If you want to join in on the conversation, you can tweet at us at ATSuperPod. And if you want the audio version, you can find us on all of your audio podcast streaming platforms. Just search for All Things Super.
And we like reading the comments. We've said a lot today, but we know that you guys have comments. You have got to feel some type of way about House of the Dragon. There's some, you have some kind of opinion, and we want to hear those opinions. So leave us a comment. Let us know what those opinions are. How much do you hate Sir Christian with his bitch ass? with his bitch ass. God damn this dude. I feel like I want to put itching powder like right in his goddamn.
So he can't
You know
get
what I'm
to
saying?
it.
So you just like you trying to scratch. He's just this dude here. I can't wait till somebody chop his block off. And that's the other thing about Thrones. You really started plotting on who should die and how they should die.
But you
That's
never
one
know
thing
who's
they,
going to be the one that dies.
yeah, and you want them to die horribly too. So it just bring out just the masochists in people, just the Satanists in people. Like this bitch ass need to die. You just roll up and kill a senior citizen because he's speaking his mind.
Right. Because he
reminded
perceived
me
insult
of
to the queen.
he reminded me of Heath Ledger when he did that pencil trick in The Dark Knight.
Absolutely. Like, you want to see a magic trick? Bow.
And it's gone. With his bitch ass.
But thank you all for joining us. We have one more episode of House of the Dragon, so we are looking forward to this season finale. Hopefully it's just as super as the rest of the season has been. But until then, we'll see you in the next episode.